The Rivers State House of Assembly has explained its decision to commence impeachment proceedings against Governor Siminalayi Fubara, citing allegations of gross misconduct, particularly financial misappropriation. The Assembly's spokesperson, Enemi Alabo George, acknowledged that the Senate Ad-Hoc Committee, during the period of emergency rule in the state, passed the N1. 48 trillion 2025 Rivers State Appropriation Bill. However, speaking with Daily Post, George said the budget did not reflect the inputs or aspirations of the people of Rivers State, noting that Governor Fubara also did not have the opportunity to make contributions that aligned with his development plans for the state. According to him, the House requested that the governor present a supplementary budget to capture his policy direction and priorities, but alleged that Fubara declined to do so. George, who represents Asari-Toru II Constituency, further claimed that following the lifting of the emergency rule, the governor began spending public funds outside the appropriation approved by the National Assembly. The governor came back after the president magnanimously lifted the state of emergency. And if you remember correctly, immediately we resumed, we told the governor we acknowledge the fact that we were under unusual circumstances. And then, the budget that was passed by the National Assembly for the sole administrator did not reflect the input of Rivers people. And then, the governor, who is the governor, also did not have the opportunity to make inputs that will align with his own plan, his own vision for the state. And so, we called on the governor, privately and publicly, now that we are back, please can you now bring a supplementary budget that will reflect your own aspirations, your own plan, assuming the one that the National Assembly did not certain plans that you had. Remember, he had no input in that one. The governor said no, and then he refused to bring it, he said. George accused the governor of making heavy payments and awarding contracts without proper legislative backing, challenging him to publicly account for his spending. He went ahead and began to spend public funds out of even the appropriation that was done by the National Assembly, awarding contracts, making heavy payments that one did not reflect. I challenge him to bring that budget. He has a copy. We have a copy and we will publish it. Let him show us the spending. He met $600 and something billion in the coffers that Ibas left when he came. He, however, clarified that some projects, including the renovation of the State Secretariat Complex, were captured in the budget approved by the National Assembly, stressing that the House had no objections to such projects. George disclosed that the Assembly would publish details of projects and expenditures allegedly undertaken by Governor Fubara but not captured in the 2025 budget passed by the National Assembly. On efforts to restore harmony between the executive and the legislature, George said President Bola Tinubu had intervened on 2 occasions to broker peace, noting that the Assembly's position remained constitutional. All the Assembly wants is for all the arms of government to function according to the prescriptions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 as amended. Asked for comments on the continued absence of 3 assembly members loyal to Governor Fubara since the end of the emergency rule, George declined, describing the matter as sub judice. This is not the first impeachment attempt by the Rivers State House of Assembly against Governor Fubara. The first attempt occurred on October 30, 2023, when 27 lawmakers convened to initiate impeachment proceedings, but the session was disrupted by supporters of the governor. The sitting took place a day after an explosion damaged the assembly complex, splitting the House into factions. 27 lawmakers aligned with the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nizam Waik, and 4 loyal to Governor Fubara. The second attempt was made on March 14, 2025, just days before President Bola Tinubu declared a state of emergency in Rivers State and suspended all democratic structures. The prolonged crisis is rooted in the political rift between Governor Fubara and the FCT minister. Despite peace efforts by President Tinubu, the dispute has persisted.